What up? I'm Chip Papelka, and this is the Braves TomaBlog. It's a YouTube channel where I talk about the Braves baseball in general. It's time for a weekly Braves rant. Hashtag weekly Braves rant. I still do that thing. So we've had a week of baseball. I hope you've enjoyed it, though I doubt it. Because as I'm shooting this, the Braves are currently 1-5. I would describe the Braves' first week of baseball as unimpressive, somewhat uneventful, not a ton of fun. Now, a couple things that I really want to touch on in this video. One of them is SunTrust Park, which is about to open up, and the other is the actual on-field playing of the Braves, which of course is underwhelming. So some things about the way the Braves are playing is that, first of all, you guys are baseball fans, so I don't have to tell you that the first week of the season, it's nothing to overreact to. It's not a reflection of what's about to happen over the entirety of the season. It's not even really that indicative of the rest of the season. It's just 6 games, and they went 1-5 in it. It sucks. It's no better than if they went 1-5 in July, but in July, when they go 1-5, you know that's not the end of the world. Now, I will say, we started the year 0-9 last year, so 1-5 feels a lot better than 0-6 right now to me. Because, yeah, it did affect the Braves last year when they started out 0-9, and then later went to 9-28 before things really turned around. I don't see that happening right now. One of the main reasons is because the problems I view as fixable. The Braves are blowing games. They're not getting blown out of games. Don't panic. Don't freak out. It sucks. It's a lot more annoying. It's not a ton of fun to bear witness to. Ooh, button. It's not a lot of fun to just watch it happen, but it is the most fixable thing in baseball when your bullpen sucks. That said, I'm pissed. The bullpen shouldn't suck. There's really no reason for having a bullpen that sucks when you want your team to be good. That should be the first thing that you go towards fixing, because it makes the team win more games when your bullpen is good. We've lost a bunch of games already just based on the bullpen sucking. And, you know, I don't know the best way to put this. I'm upset with John Coppolella about it because I think he dragged his feet on the issue. And I went to a Q&A at the end of the season and I asked him, you know, this is potentially the only time you're going to have a buyer's market for relief pitching. It's a seller's market the rest of the time. What are you going to do about it? And he said it is not. And he's right. He said it is not a buyer's market on relief pitching. I think it's debatable, and to the most part, though, he was correct. If you looked at the top end of relief pitching, it was not a buyer's market. It was super expensive. Could have had Joe Blanton, could have had Sergio Romo, could have had Drew Storen, Javier Lopez. There was a massive list of relievers to have, and they didn't really get any of them. They went with their guys, because their guys did well at the end of last year. And to me, this is sort of the thing that's been becoming evident to me throughout the first week of the season, is that there are certain things that I knew that we were taking for granted at the end of last season into this season, and those have all sort of become relevant. One of those is the health of Matt Kemp. It will be a concern. Another is the abhorrent success of the bullpen. It was almost, perfect at the end of the year last year. And the other is just the impeccable nature of the offense. We're 6 games in, the Braves have scored 18 runs. So they have not kept up their 5.2 runs a game pace from the end of last year. It's totally understandable, and it's only 6 games. That said, these things are going to continue to be an issue. The concerns that we've had, like the bullpen not getting addressed and the bench not really getting addressed, those have become pretty clear. And what I think you can expect is that things are going to change. I don't expect any loyalty on behalf of Brian Snitker towards guys like Eric O'Flaherty and Ian Kroll and Jose Ramirez and etc. that have struggled thus far, and I don't expect any loyalty whatsoever from Snitker or Coppolella on the bench guys. I don't think that they want those guys that are on the bench on the Major League team, and that will change. Not only, in the coming time soon where, Dustin Peterson might get called straight up to the majors if things, don't get better offensively. You look around at some of the guys in the minors right now, like Rio Ruiz might be looking at a call-up. And, of course, we just signed Ryan Howard. And if that doesn't fix it, it's worth noting that Kelly Johnson, Jeff Francoeur are a phone call away. And there's plenty of other guys as well, like Daniel Navar, Logan Morrison, other ones that I'm not going to actually look into. But if you want to sign bench guys, you can do it, and you can give them a chance because if the guys that you have aren't doing it for you, you don't owe them any loyalty. So just to keep in mind, things are going to get better. The Braves are not, they're not going to have like .2 winning percentage or anything like that. The bullpen will improve. I'm very impressed with the starting pitching thus far, particularly Bartolo Colon. Dickey could stand to see some improvement. I think that we will see quicker call-ups this year is sort of something that I'm feeling, where if Dickey struggles, well, call up Weigel, call up Newcomb, call up Fried, call up someone. If Dickey or Fulton-Evans struggles, the bullpen sucks. You already signed Jason Mott. You can put in Rex Brothers. Beyond that, I think we're going to see A.J. Minter sooner rather than later. Guys like Akil Morris, maybe Patrick Weigel if we really wanted to. You're going to see more call-ups, the further along that we get. SunTrust Park is about to open. And I'm not going to say anything until, I'm not going to say, I'm going to say something, but I'm going to wait and see it. And it's becoming a sort of divisive issue in Atlanta. I'm an Atlanta resident, and that's the thing that I don't like about this park thus far, is that people aren't sharing their opinions on the park. They're only sharing their opinions on how it affects them as Atlanta residents. I don't know how it's being portrayed outside of Atlanta. The only thing that we really talk about SunTrust Park inside of Atlanta for is how you feel about moving from downtown way inside the perimeter to the edge of the perimeter on the north side. It's a bit of a civic issue for Atlanta, and I'm still wrestling with how I feel about it. And the reason is because I want to see the park. I want to see the area before I actually make an assessment on it. But it affects everyone, and truth be told, it affects me kind of negatively. So I'm going to be honest, I'm not super thrilled for the opening of SunTrust Park, but again, I'm going to wait. So what I'm saying all this to you guys for is I want to know, just public opinion on SunTrust Park, how you're feeling right now. I'll be at opening weekend, so I'll get you guys a whole new video telling you about SunTrust Park, how I feel, getting into the actual civic issues about the details of the park and everything like that, because I think that it's worth exploring more. I'm waiting on it, but I want to know how you guys are feeling about it, if you're affected by it, if you're not affected by it, how you're feeling about the Braves just moving stadiums. So yeah, I just want to preface this before the actual opening of the park. Beyond that, got a whole new slate of games this week, including, of course, the opening of the park after going to Miami. So I'm pretty excited about that. I appreciate you guys watching. So if you're new to this, I'm Chad Pelga. This is the Braves TomaBlog, where I talk about the Braves and I talk about baseball in general, according to whatever I feel like. So I appreciate you guys watching, and go Braves.